final topic, Halo 3 ODST.
I can't wait.
Why? It looks just like the original
Look,
Halo 3.
No, it does.
Yeah, it has gameplay
All right,
changes
look,
in
here's
it.
the
Go
thing.
ahead.
This is that I hear the same thing from a lot of people. It looks the same thing, blah 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 blah. It's like a game that's, yes, it wasn't in production as long. Who cares? It's a Halo game. It's gonna be, the production value on it is gonna be very high. It's gonna be fun to play. There's gonna always be people playing it. The multiplayer is gonna be great on it. But here's the thing. It's kind of like a filler game for people that want more Halo 1 and less Halo 3. So it's kind of a combination between them. Because the elements of them are kind of like early Master Chief, where you aren't as powerful. So you take life, you have a health bar, you run slower, you don't jump as high, you can't dual wield things.
Like a normal game?
You take fall damage.
You take fall damage. It is a normal game, just like every other game. It's normal. So it's kind of, some people don't like the direction Halo went into. So it's kind of toning it down a little. The pistol zooms again, so you can ridiculously pick people off from across the map again.
So, okay, so it does seem like
So
it's a nod back to the
it's-
original Halos.
It's kind of a merge between the new and old school Halo. You know, I can't vouch for how good the single player is going to be, but the multiplayer is going to take off. I'm sure the single player campaign is going to be good, no matter how fast they put it out. It's gonna be good.
Just like Halo 3.
So we're looking at the final. Were you okay? Let's start with
Just
this.
like Halo
Were you a
3.
fan of Halo 3?
I want to tell you the truth. I'm not a fan of Halo at all.
Okay, so this is
Wouldn't be
Halo
on his
3
top 10
ODST.
list.
It makes it. It's not going to be on your top 10 list,
No, it's
but it will have some features that are a little bit innovative, and if not innovative, maybe evolutionary.
Yeah, well,
Firefight isn't exactly new.
Let me give
Maybe
it some
you like
credit. I want to give it some credit. Did some reading on it. Right now, the new thing, the craze in gaming is cooperative play. That's what made Left 4 Dead extremely successful. Now, I know one of the multiplayer modes in this Halo game coming out is 4-player co-op. That's great for casual gamers because, you know, when you go into a competitive game, there's always someone with no life that is going to kick your ass and you are not going to enjoy the game you're playing. Whereas when you can load up with 3 buddies, now I'm actually interested in playing this game because I can, not that I'm bad at shooters, but I don't play shooters with analog
sticks. That's why I play Soul Calibur and Tekken, because they're much slower than the other games.
No, but he does bring up a good point, and this is going to be a little bit different this time around because it's a shared pool of 7 lives for each of the squad members of the ODSTs. So if you're not that good at first-person shooters or Halo, and you just suck overall, your 3 good teammates are going to kick you the hell out of the game, and they're going to go find somebody else. So I think that's more of a barrier for casual gamers to get into it.
They could kick you or they can bring you along, you know? Dude, I'm
It's
sure
only 7 lives.
I'm sure
It's
some
only 7
poor fool
lives.
is going to want to play with his girlfriend, and you know, if she's not up to par like everyone else, they could still have a good time because it's a 4-player co-op.
Yeah, but that was in Halo 3 as well. You can go through co-op campaign.
Wasn't that 2 or?
Yeah, so what, it was 2. It's the aspect of it though. It's when you play a single player game, it's fun. It sucks to play split screen because you're losing part of your vision. So if you could be at one TV and I could be at another, and I can physically talk to you, and we can interact and plan and play the game on the hardest difficulty, it makes it much more fun. Especially, I mean, they are upping it with 4 people, so it's going to be even better. So I can't see how this game is going to be any worse than any previous Halos.
I don't think it's going to be any
don't
worse. If
think it's
anything,
worse.
I was
either.
slightly disappointed in Halo 3 single player. I thought the Halo 2 single player campaign was awesome.
if incomplete, though, it was, I mean, it didn't end
Right,
right.
I
It
didn't
just
like the way it ended
midway.
but when you're playing it, you're like, oh man, this is so awesome as you're playing through. I didn't get the same feeling as Halo 3, but the game as a whole, I'm very satisfied with. So I can't see how it's just going to get even better than Halo 3. They're just balancing it more. It's just refinements. That's the only thing they can do.
Well, here's another thing. Halo is a very well-known franchise. Anything with the name Halo on it will probably be successful.
Halo
Now-
Wars?
Probably, I said.
That's where you need that top 10 list of top grossing
All right.
games to really determine
Yes.
is Halo Wars a successful
Was it
game.
really successful or not? Anyway, because it's Halo, the gameplay is different. You're not this like superhuman being. So they're experimenting with a game that might not even need the Halo tag, but because it's a Halo franchise, it's still going to get it put out there. It's going to make sales, and there's going to be some innovative gameplay in there, especially with the co-op that the developers get to play around with. but still it's safe because it's a Halo franchise.
Well, you're right in that respect. They are definitely giving it a Halo. It is in the Halo universe, so it's going to get a Halo tag in the title. But if that wasn't there, I'm sure that people that didn't follow the gaming industry wouldn't know what it was, and they would not purchase the game because it didn't have the Halo.
You would have a lot harder time selling.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true.
But you still have to remember they're still using the same engine and the same mostly gameplay style. So that's the only thing that's giving it to it is it's selling it to people who are not following the industry.
It's not really broken. They're just trying some different things with
I
it.
may disagree with that. No battle rifle. That was definitely way too powerful. I mean,
well, that's something that they're
about,
fixing for this, and
right,
that they've just outright removed it.
I mean, they're not. Think they couldn't just take that away from Halo 3. Think of the uproar that would make, like a downloadable update that took away the battle rifle. People would have so much shit with them over it. But if you made a whole nother game and took it out, people are going to say, this is a different game, I'm going to accept it. So it's a way to make things better without disappointing previous customers.
So let's talk about what's in the box, how much it costs, and where we've come from. It started out, it was just going to be sort of a short side story. Bungie wanted to create it for a reduced price point. After some heated discussions with Microsoft, we went to a 14-month development cycle after the Peter Jackson movie lost its funding. It's now a full-price product at $69. And it comes with 2 discs in the box. One disc is the multiplayer disc, and one is the campaign mode. For someone who's on the fence, you've played Halo in the past, or someone who's new coming into this, you think that's an attractive product? It comes with all the multiplayer maps as well on that second disc.
It's, to me, for $70, is that what you said? We're estimating up to
regular
$70?
games MSRP, yeah.
There's other first-person shooters out there with expansion packs that probably give you the same level of enjoyment and time investment, and you can enjoy just as much. See, this is more like, because there's such a huge Halo franchise out there, the Halo guys are going to pay their $70 for it. But it really, it's what it sounded like. It started like an expansion pack. And, you know, on a console, you really can't market an expansion pack well because a lot of people don't understand what it is. But I think there's other avenues where I could spend my $70 and maybe get 3, 4 older games that I haven't started competing in yet and enjoy it that way.
All right, you getting it?
I'm going to get it, but I got to disagree here. So I'm going to spend the $60 for the game. I can't agree with $60 for any game nowadays, but I'm still paying it. I have no choice. But if you're going to compare things to downloadable content and add-ons, while this comes with a lot of things, you're going to spend a lot of money in the long run. You know, how much is downloadable content? $8 to $12 to $20, depending on what you get. So after a while, that racks up, and by the time you're done with the downloadable content and everything, you spent maybe over $100 on the game. I mean, I played Call of Duty World at War. I don't think it's as good multiplayer as Halo. There's a lot of downloadable content for it that it excludes you when you purchase it if you don't have it. And I played the game and felt, you know, I'm not purchasing these maps because pretty much every map in World at War is exactly the same. I'd rather.
All right, so you're approaching a larger issue, though. It's that they're sneaking micropayments in there.
He's going over
right,
DLC.
Right.
So
but
there's
a
difference
has the
between
DLC included, pretty much.
I'm going for the scope that you're talking about DLC, and there's a whole different discussion to be had on DLC, whereas this is more of an expansion. There's a difference between an expansion pack, because here's an engine already, here's a graphic set, and here's a franchise. And you're adding onto it, and they're not saying it's Halo 4, they're just adding onto the franchise.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's kind of like a Left 4 Dead 2 issue. Left 4 Dead 2, people gave a lot of crap over because people feel Left 4 Dead 1 just came out, and I don't think that this game is much different. Microsoft and Bungie heard that and said, all right, you know what, that's probably a stupid mistake. Let's make this much better. So they spent a little more time on it, made it a completely different game. Yeah, it's got the same engine, but you're going through. There's a lot of new stuff. There's changes to the gameplay style, and I have to agree. You know, now that I've been seeing a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 things, I have to agree in the direction it should be a separate game. It's not an expansion.
And that bell marks the end of our 5th topic. Thank you, gentlemen, for a heated debate on all the topics. Unfortunately, this episode ends in a 13-13 tie as Jason Barbosa from NoobTube.tv and Dan Remolino from ComboBreaker.com fight it out to the end. We're going to take it more to the point. We're going to go out and have some drinks and do some more talking about whether Halo 3 ODST is worth your $60 or not. For those of you watching at home, check out the episode page for episode 2 of CounterPoint and leave us your comments and what you think about the 5 topics. We'll see you soon. I'm Mark Remo for CounterPoint.
You're lucky there's a desk here, man.